Hey there, welcome to the latest episode of the Sexy Thyroid Solution. I'm your host, Angela Brown. So today I'm going to talk all about sleep and your thyroid. But if you could do me a really big favor, if you could go ahead and subscribe to my channel and hit that bell so you get a notification every time I release a new video. So one of the things that really gets often overlooked when you are struggling with your health, particularly with something like hypothyroidism or Hashimoto's, is sleep. So sleep is definitely one of those where it's not the easiest to get. And it's kind of one of those things where it almost becomes this, like you're spinning on a hamster wheel. So when you have hypothyroidism, one of the big symptoms is you're thoroughly exhausted. You are so tired, you have no energy, and you could take a nap all day. Then nighttime comes and you usually struggle with sleep. And I want to go over a little bit how this can happen and how this can actually impact your thyroid even worse. So something to consider is that when you go to bed at night and you go to sleep, one of the biggest times that your body needs to rest and repair is at nighttime when you're sleeping. Your body needs that time to replenish. It needs to repair itself. This is also when a lot of thyroid hormone activity is happening, is in that middle of the night. So if you aren't getting your sleep and you already struggle with hypothyroidism, you're just going to add fuel to the fire. You're not giving your body enough time for this like rest and repair. And the thyroid function can definitely have a decline because the sleep's not there. Also consider REM sleep. So REM is rapid eye movement, and this is one of the phases of sleep, and it's a very crucial part of one of the phases that you need to have, and it's important for your thyroid health. This is also a time where you are getting a lot of rest and repair. The thyroid will get nourished, and you're not going to have enough of that if you aren't getting your REM sleep. Things that really affect REM sleep is the blue light, this fake light at night. Is such a big piece of it, and stress is another one. Those are some big factors that can really affect sleep overall, but can definitely affect REM sleep. Something to also think about as well is when you are under an immense amount of stress, usually your body will release something called cortisol. Cortisol is your fight or flight hormone. This is what you're supposed to release when you have a stress response. Now, when I say stress, that also can mean other things, like if you have a food sensitivity or if you're eating really bad foods, gluten, dairy first, like someone with Hashimoto's, those can actually cause flare-ups. It will cause a stress response. So stress doesn't have to be just like you're stressed out because you don't like your job or you got stuck in traffic or whatever. Stress can actually be other things as well, like I mentioned, like food, things like that. So when you have a stress response, you will release cortisol. If you consistently keep doing this over and over and over, your body ends up getting to the point where it's releasing so much cortisol that it gives some feedback to your thyroid. Look, we are under a stress response. We don't need the metabolism to work right now. And what happens is you end up having a lot of weight gain. You can't lose weight. You have all these thyroid symptoms because your thyroid has been told to slow down because your stress is so high, as well as it will affect your sleep. And so the big connection with sleep here is cortisol is your awakening hormone. So if you are doing things that are going to stress your body out, you will have an immense amount of awake time at night usually, because cortisol is supposed to keep you awake. So it's supposed to rise in the morning and wake you up. It's supposed to drop at night. And if there's too much cortisol being released, it will keep you awake. So you're not going to get your sleep. So here we are again, creating this vicious cycle. Now we're not getting our sleep because we have too much cortisol, and the thyroid's getting feedback that we don't need to really function much. Then during the day, you're thoroughly exhausted because you don't have any thyroid hormones, or the thyroid's not doing its job properly. And the cortisol has been higher at night and not during the day. So you end up creating this sort of vicious cycle. You get a really disconnect with your cortisol pattern, and then sleep is drastically affected. And then in the end, the thyroid is affected. So you keep going back and forth between less sleep causes issues with the thyroid. Thyroid issues can cause sleep issues as well. So that's why it's so important. You can't ignore it. If you have really struggling with sleep, you really have to figure out, why am I struggling with my sleep? And then what can I do so that I get more sleep here, so that my thyroid will actually have more time to replenish and nourish and be healthier at nighttime, so it can function better the next day. So keep those kind of things in mind when you are really trying to hone in on, what other things can I do here that's going to help with my thyroid. Sleep is a big one. We definitely need to get our sleep, because it will help you a lot. You will have much better thyroid function. The thyroid will be much happier when you are getting your sleep. So getting off your phone at night is a really big one. It's a tough one, but I do recommend use blue light blocking glasses, things like that, so that you aren't getting that fake light, so we can keep that cortisol down and actually have melatonin, which is supposed to be higher at night. Melatonin and cortisol are opposite. So melatonin should be higher at night and cortisol not as high, so you get your sleep. So the blue light blocking glasses can definitely help with that. So let me know if you have more questions with that, or if you want more tips on this. I would love to help you, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.